very consistent about this camp, and it's been our DBs and our linebackers getting picks. That has been very consistent. What's been very inconsistent is our quarterbacks and wide receivers are not making this connection. I know we're missing CD Lamb, but we still have the Brooks brothers. You know, the Jalen gang.
Brothers Brooks.
Yeah,
Brooks
we
brothers.
still, we still have uh, what's that guy number three? Good wide
Brandon
receiver.
Cooks.
Brandon, we still have him.
Yeah.
We still have Ferguson at tight end.
Yeah, Big
So
Biscuit.
it still should be a connection here. But our DBs and linebackers are taking over the whole camp. That has been the one things that's been consistent, with or without pads.
Eric Kendricks is as good as advertised.
Yeah.
And you watch him play. His ability to be at the right place at the right time. He baited Dak into an interception the other day in practice where we haven't seen a linebacker, I believe, since Sean Lee, when you start to talk about playing pass defense, getting in throwing lanes, getting interceptions, knocking balls down. You know, we're going to see with the pads come on, you'll see that part where these linebackers step up, they thump, they don't bring the running backs or ball carriers to the ground, but you'll see number 50 a lot, probably in your clips. Probably Nick Harris will have a bunch of clips where you'll see number 50, he's at the ball, he's at the ball, he's at the ball. Wait, he's knocking the ball down. So he's been as good as advertised when you look at the veteran presence he has and his ability to be at the right place at the right time when the defense is called for.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as, you know what I'm known as. I'm off today, Brian. Not mailman. Well, I guess I'm the mailman. I missed it. Mark made it to LA. Will be good to sign CD. Yeah, I haven't seen this video. We will check it out, maybe together. Maybe when everybody gets in here, I need all my people in here. If I don't have anybody in here, I'll throw the link in the chat and we'll allow you guys to come in. Where are all my mailhead crew? Where is everybody? The bat signal, I didn't text anybody, so what's going on? Let's see how everybody's doing here. Let's see, we got David Bylear is the first one in here. Thank you so much, David. Spare none. How are you? How y'all doing? Good afternoon, DC for life. Definitely spare none. Definitely my guy. And there is Thomas Garrett. We lost 2 mailheads. I can't keep up with it. We had 28, now we're down to 26. We need to get that number up, people. What's up with my mailhead crew? You can tell who's the mailheads. You got JoJo, you got everybody with a little. Actually, I don't see anybody except Joe in here that's a mailhead. Coyote, get your butt in here, my guy. You need to be a part of this. But anyway, we got JoJo in the house. Good afternoon, JoJo. We got Arturo Gomez. We got Chris May. We got Thomas Garrett. What's up, Thomas? You are the man. Thomas CZ, good afternoon. All go Eagles. Well, we could talk some Eagles later. CZ, you know me. I'm an equal opportunity. Listen, I like talking NFC East, and especially I like talking Cowboys and Eagles. Eagles are in my backyard. A lot of excitement around those Eagles. But I also keep it real, and I will tell you where the excitement and where the concerns lie with the Birds. So if you want a truthful non-homerism, stay here, because I'll keep it real. I don't care. Arturo, what's up, my guy? No dog. Been Cowboys since 1870. CZ, hey, let's see who else is in it. Eastside Harold, hey, listen, both are trash. See, now, you come in here, put down the 5th, my guy. Eastside Harold, is shots fired. There was no need for that. There was no need for you to say both are trash. You don't know what you don't know. All right? All right. We got Arturo. We talk Woke. What's up, Woke? Grand Rising Game Time, Bright. You know what, Woke? You're always so cool. Guess what? I'm going to add you as a standard moderator just so you look cool and blue because you're a Cowboy fan. If not, I'll take that shit right away. I believe you're a Cowboy fan. East Side, yeah, you're nice to all the ladies I see. I see that. Coyote, what's up, Coyote? Devil Dog 71, what's up, my man? William Tilton's in the house. Linda Conyers, how are you, Linda? And Elena Walker, you need to be part of the Mailheads crew. Male being male, letter male. That doesn't mean women can't be a part of it. We need JoJo is a part of it. We need you on the Zoom calls. We need a woman's presence. Somebody needs to step up from the women to take control here. All right? We need a woman to come in here and talk with us men. But anyway, what's up, gentlemen? Chris May, how is your computer running? Somehow it's my fault that your shit ain't running right.
I don't know, dude. It's running fine now. It's just the last couple of times,
I don't know. Yeah.
Frozen and boom. I'm like, what the heck?
Tell me about it.
Well, Marks is fine.
Hoffman. Bobby Murphy. I saw your comment, Bobby. You know come on, Bobby. Come on. I'm about as listen, we're not always gonna agree, Bobby Murphy. You know that. You know that. What we will agree on is our fighting Phils need to get their head out of their ass because we're not doing well. We went from the best team in the league to looking like the Bad News Bears, and we hit for 1 inning. What's going on, Bobby? So anyway, Thomas Garrett, what's up, bro? How you doing? How you doing?
Not much, man. I finally got my heart working. I just got to watching this 100-meter final.
Oh shoot, yeah. You know what, man?
Fastest man in the world.
Who is?
Noah Lyles from the USA.
There you go. That's all I wanted to hear. You know, my son, he just left actually, but my son was. I really feel bad for him now that he's not here. I can talk about it. He was really, really good. He set the for a white dude anyway. He set the state record, the school record. Him and his team by 4x1 a few years ago. It probably ain't gonna be for a while. What is it? 4x1 or 1x4?
4x100.
Yeah. So anyway, obviously it's a smaller school, so just keep that in mind. But he went to a college, right? You know, but he got caught up in that COVID BS, and he wasn't listen. I mean, Thomas, I'm a mailman, right? I got a 2-year degree from a small ass school. You know, oh well, I have an associate's degree. That don't mean nothing these days. But he went to a big school to run track, but he got caught back-to-back years where they canceled the whole season because of COVID. So he just bailed out, man. I mean, he was going to school to run track. You know, that's basically what it was. So I always felt bad for him. I mean, I got like pictures of him, and he's standing up on my pool deck, and he's got like 20 medals hanging off of him. I mean, every time he went to a meet, he did well. So I feel bad for him, but he's doing well. It's just when I see track, man, I'm glad that we always own track. You know that for the most part. Not named the Jamaican dude.
He outran the Jamaican dude.
Yeah, well, he's getting old. He's getting old.
Game time. Sorry.
No, you're good, bro.
You gotta watch the replay of that 100.
I will. I just paused the TV so I can hear my thoughts.
So close. That 100 was so close. Anybody could have won it. That's just how close it was. You got to check it out for yourself.
Yeah,
because
well, I mean, I'll definitely check it out. I will. I'm a big, so I always love the Olympics, but I haven't watched it as much as I wanted to be honest with you. I just, for whatever reason, I've been busy doing a lot of different things, and I'm catching bits and pieces, but not like I used to. But I think we're tied with Australia. Is that correct with the amount of medals, or maybe we passed them now with that one?
Total medals, we are medaling everybody.
Yeah,
it's the gold medals. We was behind by a couple of gold medals.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby Murphy, what's up? Go Birds. Yes. I don't, whatever. We'll see about that. But I'm respectful, Bobby. You know that. I try and get to the chat as much as I can, especially when I don't have a guest on. These are my Mailhead crew guys, people who Zoom with me, so they know when I break off to talk to the chat. They know to just, it won't be long. Arturo, just see how Mark Holmes is doing live stream. Amazon called them, gave them the correct address on air. Did you guys watch any blue versus white highlights? A Coyote, look for a video later tonight, my guy. I'm going to probably do a premiere. Maybe I'll do it. I might do it late, like 10 o'clock. That way, West Coast is not too bad. Or even maybe 11 o'clock. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. Brad Harris, congratulations on 31K. Thank you, Brad. You know me, man. I keep working. I keep busting my butt, but I can't do it without people who aren't in here watching me and joining me and everything else. Coyote, sup, Asman? Take a sit and get you a Rosie. Hey, Asman30, Mark told me he was going to Pinks, but I will tell you, Mark does deviate from the plan. Tracy runs that show, so if Tracy don't want to go to Pinks, he's not going to Pinks. So just let you know, it may not happen. I hope he does, but what I can guarantee is he will not drink the brown water. Mark has a weak stomach, okay? I'm not a smoker. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not a smoker. But when we went to Stewart's, me and actually Eric Weirs, who... Since I don't know what happened to Eric. I fear the worst when it comes to Eric Weirs, but he's since passed away. But Michael Anthony Fitness and a few others, Randy Stites, we all partaked in a smoking of the Dutchie for one night. And we had a great time out by the fire after we were busting our ass all day. So, hey, Mark didn't join in. So just remember that. He bailed out on that. So he, supposedly Mark was Hank the Tank in college. He was the guy that was always by the keg. So I think he's went the opposite way, and he drinks water and essentials nowadays. All we could do is hope, Asman. Yeah, I would hope he would do it for you at least, my guy. I know you wanted me to go, but Game Time ain't made of money. Game Time's going to the game on the 10th of November, so you should come to us, Asman. Get your act together. So what's up, Thomas? What's going on, man? Anything?
Not much. I'm listening, just chilling, talking with you, and talking to the panel, and the TV is looking at me.
Yeah, well, we got 51 in here, so let's keep it lively. I hope we get more people. I will put the link in the chat if we don't get anybody else. I expect more people. Rob is like, yeah, anytime. Well, I'm live, Rob. Get your butt in here. I know Drew's probably working or doing whatever. I'll send him a text. But did you guys see the blue-white scrimmage at all?
No.
I didn't see it, but I heard that what's the name? I think he either sprung his ankle or hurt his hamstring in the game.
Who did?
In a Bond.
Oh, Deuce.
Oh, Deuce. Yeah, Deuce has Deuce has a strained hamstring. Israel Mukuamu also has a strained a hamstring, and who else? Is it a groin? One of them has a strained hamstring. What's up, Texas Eagle? How are you, my guy? You going to the Eagles Nest or what? Sup, Game Time? Had to come see what y'all going on. Dude, you know I'm good with the Eagle people. Just when it gets out of hand, I check. Like we do a nice hard body check. After that, we're good. What's going on? But anyway, Arturo, I don't know. Arturo, weed. Listen, Arturo, we did it in honor of Stuart Morrison, who would do it. So it was a good night. Let's put it that way. Also, I saw glimpses with Law. Nice. Very cool. Let's see. Wade Walker, he didn't answer. Drew. Let's see. Eagle Drew coming on.
Come on, I know some of you guys want to talk some smack on here or do something. Come on in the chat.
Yeah.
We need some more Eagle fans in here. See, I don't get to talk smack because it's always Leo taking over everything or something.
Well, if Leo's in the chat, he needs to step up. He's got the
Or
money.
Drew. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
But listen, we could talk about a little bit of something. We could talk about Hunter Lepke. Hunter Lepke's going to have a big, hey, Game Time, family over in Game Time. It's cool. Lots of work there. Okay, cool. Hunter Lepke is going to have a big part of this offense. I just want everybody to know they're running a lot of 2 running back formation, 2 running back sets, which I've been calling for a long time. I like the 2 running back sets. You could have Deuce Vaughn in that set. You could have.
What kind of formations have they been running? Do you know? Yeah,
well, they're doing a lot of 2 running backs. Normally, it's not a lot of 2 running backs, but you're going to see a lot of. Mainly? You're going to see a lot of.
Or they wind up in the back, or they're side by side.
Like both.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be a blessing out of the passing game. That's what we can also use too.
Think they use him like they use Kyle Juszczyk?
Yes, exactly. Mike McCarthy can't help himself.
They're all the same lineage.
Yeah,
McCarthy,
exactly, Chris. Exactly.
They have that West Coast offense thing going on.
Yeah. McCarthy had John Kuhn out in Green Bay, so he likes to have a running back like that. And listen, Bobby Murphy, if you guys want to put anything that happened in the Eagles camp, we'll talk about it. That's fine. You know me. I don't mind talking NFC East. Here you go. Hey, Bobby, here you go. I want to show you something, Bobby. This is for you, my guy. Because I know you're. Here we go. Are you ready, Bobby? Here you go. This is for you.
My home team, my loyalty. I'm at Uptown Royalty. We fight for all DC. Who are we? I speak facts. I'm not making riddles. The Hawks open big ol'.
All right, that's enough of that, Bobby. That's enough of that, Linda. We can't have that, right? That was the Commander song.
Calling yourself the Commanders, man.
The Commander. I see, Lee Commander. I knew you were coming, which is why I played that. Look out, folks. Jaden. Oh, Lee Commander. Listen. I was the first on one of the first on that train. I don't know, Thomas. Where were you on that? On Jaden Daniels. I did not want him to go to the Commanders. I think that's a problem for everybody. What do you think, Thomas?
Well, it was just a big question mark because, this draft, it was a draft of the quarterback. You didn't know who the only quarterback you knew that was going somewhere was the guy from Chicago from USC. We knew he was going to Chicago. That was in the bag. But everybody else, we didn't know who was going to where. And Jaden Daniels, today, oh, he's going to New England. Tomorrow, oh, he's going to Washington, which he did go to Washington.
Well, listen, man, I
Next
just
day
think
he's going to Denver.
I just think he's a winner, and I love the overall, obviously the number one overall pick. I loved his arm talent. I loved everything about him. He's a little bit odd, but so was the Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was a genius off the field. He was a little odd, and he decided, hey, listen, why beat up my body anymore? I'm a multi-millionaire over. We all look back and go, wow, you wasted it. No, he's spending time with his family. So, but Jaden Daniels is just a winner. That's my problem with it. And I said it. If there was one guy I would want, it was Jaden Daniels. Now, he's skinny, Thomas. He's very skinny, but, kind of like Joe Burrow. You can say whatever you want about Joe Burrow. He's a winner. The dude has just got ice in his veins. And when we talk about Dak Prescott, who I am a fan of, and I want them to sign Dak, this seems like those guys have a different gene inside of them, It is what it is, right? Jaden Daniels, I just did. But listen, he hasn't done that at the pro level.
Dak needs to go in there and Jerry Maguire his ass in there and say, show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Don't be surprised if Washington. Don't be surprised if Washington tried to go after IU out in San Francisco.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping Buffalo comes in and says we'll do it because I don't want to see him in Washington.
A lot of people don't know this, but Jaden Daniels and IU were teammates at Arizona State in college.
Oh shit!
But do you really think IU?
So they have a rapport with each other. Then,
hey, Alina, how are you?
Do you really think Ayuk is a number one? though? I see him more as a number two.
He's kind of mid one and two.
Here's the deal, though.
He's a mix of both.
Here's the deal, man. You got.
I mean, to me, he's like what Alvin Harper was to us in the 90s.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's more like an Alvin Harper. So can he carry a team and be that number one receiver? Debo was. That Debo is right now. And what kind of tight end does Washington have to line up with him?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, I'm not saying they're on our level yet, but they're going to make a hay. And if we slip up out of the gate, and if the Eagles defense can't get their act together out of the gate, and my Eagle fans in here, it's very plausible. I don't see you getting out to a 10-1. I don't. And that's not a demeaning or anything. Eagles are going young on defense, which is exciting for Eagle fans. You should be excited. Sometimes going with veterans who haven't gotten the job done on defense, coming off a year how the Eagles collapsed, you want to go young. We want to see Quinyon Mitchell, not me, but the Eagle fans want to see Quinyon Mitchell. Eagle fans want to see Cooper DeJean when he's healthy. Eagles want to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. They want to see Nakobe Dean. They want to see Nolan Smith. That's your future. Now, if it doesn't work out, and half of those guys don't work out, then your future isn't going to be rosy, right? Just like us, Dallas. We need to see Marshawn Nealon. I put it's a tough question because they're both important, but who are you more excited about? You got Tyler Guyton and Marshawn Nealon. We got Kalen Carson, the human seatbelt, who's locking everybody up, not named CeeDee Lamb in camp. You can say whatever. Oh, well, that means you got horrible receivers. No, maybe the player's good. We don't know yet. I'm excited about a lot of our young guys. Maris Leofau. I don't know, Thomas Garrett.
Maris Leofau.
Mike Zimmer loves the kid. I mean,
I got a new nickname for him. Game time. Maris Leofau is the Samoan Clark Kent.
Wow, bang! I like it.
He wear the glasses like Clark Kent, cause he wear glasses.
Yeah, well, I like to see that. Like everybody's going to be upset that Cooper Beebe's not going to start. That's a good thing, people, because Cooper Beebe hadn't played center since high school. He will be the swing guard. He can play tackle in a pinch, and he's getting reps at center. The dude is a beast when it comes to the offensive line, but at the center, Brock Hoffman has separated himself like I told you he would, because Brock played last year. Brock is a born leader. Just look at his sounds from the sidelines from last year when Brock started a few games. They love Brock Hoffman. Dak loves Brock. So, and Brock's a big guy. Brock's not, as Stephen Jones, calls him badass. Tyler Biotish. He's way bigger than Biotish. He's a physical mauler playing center, which is what you want. So, again, these are good things to have. Everybody wants to you go veteran. I get it. But at some point, especially in a salary capped league, Thomas and Loyal, when you're paying Dak, you're going to pay Dak probably 58. You're going to pay CD 34. You're going to pay Micah whatever. That's what you have to count on. You got to go young. So we'll see how it works out. But I love our defense, Thomas. Our defense is stymieing the offense a lot.
Our defense is gonna kick ass. Our defense is better than people think.
I agree.
I'm telling you.
I think Zimmer brings a little bit more discipline to our defense.
And it
was all fun and games with Quinn there, and I'm not hating on Quinn. I like Quinn as our defensive
he ran his course,
but he didn't get them guys mentally ready. They were out there having fun, and when they were making plays, they had a good time. But when they needed to have foots and asses, he wasn't there, and that's what they need.
See, and we're gonna
thank you.
See, and we're gonna be mentally ready too. With with what's the name being our DC, with him being there, we're gonna be mentally ready too.
We can do is hope.
Hey, Drew, the link should be in the community tab. I don't have it on my phone. Invalid ID, huh? Do you guys have a problem getting on or what?
No.
Yeah, so I don't know. Drew.
Is he going on the membership or community tab? He has to go to the community tab.
Yeah, go on the community tab, Drew.
Not membership.
Not membership, community. It's a different, I don't know why that does that, but try it, Drew. I'm sorry.
It should be the community tab.
If you hit the community tab, your entire history will show up.
Yeah. Just try that, Drew. I'm sorry. Remember Packer game, Sledhead.
We remember Sledhead. Exactly what I'm talking about. That's when Dan Quinn should have put foots and asses, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
Should have did that in the freaking first quarter. Right, that first drive.
We needed Jimmy Johnson.
The
speech he gave at halftime, that's the speech that should have been told to that defense that day.
Players need to do their jobs. I don't care how good a coach is. If players don't want to win, they will lose. The real fan won. The real fan, that's very true. What's up, Flip Shelton? How are you, my guy? You all right, Flip? William Tilton, yeah, they need to be more tough.
That is true.
It is what it is. I would say this. I would say I actually was talking to my son this morning. I was over this is basically the last day I was going to be at my in-law's house. My father-in-law passed away. My mother-in-law's in a facility. We had to clean out the house. We've been busy. And we were over there, and on the way home, that's what I said. I said, everybody's blaming Dak for the loss. And I understand he didn't look great. I'm not arguing that. Everybody wants to say, oh, you got Dak's back. No. Just open your eyes, people. We didn't make the team punt once. Okay? If your defense can't get off the field, you're not going to win the game. I don't care if you're playing a preseason game, a blue-white scrimmage, whatever. You ain't going to win a playoff game. So,
no.
I don't know what else. Let me see if I can send it to him. Yeah, that's weird.
True point, Linda. You're right. I got to agree with you. Dallas and the Eagles will only be as good as the next man up in each position. You're right. These guys that don't get a lot of playing time and they want to shine, they should take this very seriously when they get out on the field.
Hey, Drew, refresh your page, my guy, because that's not the right link. The link.
Take your chances and don't look back.
The link should say today's date. So
It's on the community tab. I know I saw it.
it's 8-4. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Just double check.
Dak had 2 turnovers and the Packers 14 points off those turnovers. True, the real fan, he did. That day, Lamb, Cooks, and Dak and all the receivers weren't on the same page.
True, but when you're passing as much as they had to play catch up, that does play a role because they can. I mean, there's so many routes and things you can do before some player catches on to something, and you do throw a pick. I mean, look how some of those routes were jumped. Defense knew it was coming.
Shucks, man. We lost second game as a whole, man. We lost that game as a whole.
Yeah.
I disagree with you, League Commander. He says game time, Dak is not the one. Your quarterback can't be one of the reasons you lose in the playoffs. His name can't come up every time.
Hey, Drew, hold on a second.
I mean, you got to look at all.
Yeah,
Was
can you
Lamar
give it to
Jackson?
him?
Was like,
Yeah.
so let me ask you this. Well, nobody's saying anything about
can't
when the
copy
Ravens
it.
lost. No one's blaming Lamar Jackson. No one's saying anything
Oh, wait, I can
about
do it.
any other teams when
No,
they
I
lose.
can't.
You can't say that Dak is
What's up,
the reason.
Marcus?
It was a team loss.
Ultra Nick, Dak fanboys have a million excuses and come on January, then crying again. What's up, Ultra Nick? Welcome to the show. I haven't seen you before, but I would love to chop it up with a hater. Welcome. Dan, yeah, exactly, Brad Harris. Dan Zone Quinn. Exactly. We played Zone. Chris, there you go. Anybody wants to join can join. There it is. He gave it. All because Drew
What's up, Marcus Blackman?
can't figure it out. We'll delete it once Drew's in here. Bobby, Dak putting the Cowboys down 14-0 in the first. Whoa. Dak didn't put him down 14-0. Dak didn't put him down 14-0. Just leave it. That's fine. You can leave it.
Hi, Marcus.
So, real quick, loyal Cowboy.
What's up?
Whoa, that's a true.
Yes, sir.
You were at just real quick, I want to touch on this. You were at SummerSlam. What kind of time did you have, man? I mean, you sent me the pictures and the video. That was cool. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time, but I mean, I wasn't too happy about this. I mean, I'm going back there when the Browns play Cleveland in Cleveland, but I tell you what, some people, man, they need to take baths. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God, you smell BO?
It was hot as dirt in there.
Oh God.
And of course I'm not putting fat people down. I'm not the skinniest guy in the world, but there's this guy, he was too big to sit in his chair. And man, he just smells so bad, man. I was like, oh my God. I wanted to almost say something, but I don't want to be mean or
at that point, what are you going to do, bro? He's already locked in. He's in SummerSlam. He's probably been drinking since 8 a.m. Probably needed a Mando swipe or something.
I mean, some baby powder or something.
He needs
I mean,
some
Soundbite.
Mando.
Need on. Wow.
He needs some midday Mando or something.
And the traffic was pretty bad. I mean, I got out, went off about 11, so I was stuck in. I had to walk to my parking garage. I was about 20 minutes because there's so many people walking out of there, and then I had to sit in my garage for an hour and 15 minutes because it was at a standstill all the way downtown Cleveland. I'm just hoping it's not like that.
Me and Mark drove. I drove right through Cleveland, but then again, we were there in the off season. It was a beautiful time. It was great. League Commander, if your QB is one of the reasons you lose your playoff game, that is not a problem. Listen. Slow down, bro. Slow down. Take a breath. Again, I don't think he was the main problem, but I'm not here to defend Dak today. Trader Chris, after the defense held the Packers 4-out, 7-0, Dak. Yes, I agree with you, Chris. He did throw the pick six. But again, we never made him punt. So it's not like he finally got his act together, but it was too late. Alina, do you see the NFL addressing the cap for every position? And I don't, Alina. I don't. I think they need to fix the kickoff rule as well, Alina. So they can't seem to get on the same page when it comes to revenue sharing. I don't think they're going to do anything with the cap. Bobby Murphy, Dak had one pick return for a touchdown, then another one deep inside your own territory. Yes. In a playoff game, it did suck. You know, it really sucked that with the game on the line that Jalen Hurts spot fumbled a fumble 6 the other way, almost lost you the game. Jalen came back, but the defense let you down. So, yeah, I mean, we both understand when a quarterback chokes in a big game.
Guys, I don't know why this came
Bang!
up on my phone, but you guys hear about Zeke getting his nuts like hurt or something, crying in pain, and Rico Dowdle rise up as a top running back or something? That's what it says
No,
on
I
it.
didn't hear anything. That was probably an Eagle fan posting it about Zeke's
I don't know.
nuts.
It's just kind of funny. You know, somebody says he hurt his nuts, and then Rico Dowdle. Or
Go ahead, Drew.
Rico's
Welcome to the
big
show,
nut.
man. Are you working, Drew? You're driving. You're out doing honeydew again.
I am. I'm
You
on
can't
my
be
way
locked.
to work. So.
Like, you are going to work?
Yeah, I'm good though. I'm on my way to work. I'm good though.
Okay. Defense is the key to playoffs after Super Bowl. Traditional conservative play to restrict the. Yeah, Linda. Again, man, it is what it is. You can't hide from the numbers. 2-5 is 2-5. I'm not going to make excuses. So, I'm just here to say I don't. Honestly, in my heart, I don't think it's him, but I don't know. I don't. Coyote.
Lead commander, you're right.
Yeah, go ahead, Drew, man.
But
No, I don't think it's fair to put it all on the quarterback.
But you can't run from the number, right? That's all I'm saying. You can't run
Right,
from
yeah,
your
I'd say,
record.
It's not fair to put it all on Dak, but he does have to bear some of the weight.
He does.
Quarterbacks get all the glory.
Exactly.
So, when things go back, they have to take the blame too. So as well as Jalen played in 2022, 2021, he played in the playoffs. He was terrible. I think he threw 2 interceptions. You know what I mean?
And that's cool that you said that because everybody wants to overlook it. But Jalen was basically a rookie.
He did. Yeah, he was basically a rookie, but he still didn't play that well. So I mean, as much as I can't sit here and put all of it on Dak. But Dak, not only is he 2-5, but he has thrown 5 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6 in the last of his 3 playoff games.
Right.
So I mean, that's pretty glaring.
Trader Chris, like with the Bucks game, Dak started hot and the team rallied. Yeah, I agree with that, Trader. I think that it's up to the quarterback to come out of the tunnel ready to go. Okay? So you could take that for however you want to take it. It's up to the quarterback, if he is your leader of your team, to get the team going in the right direction. I don't care if the defense lets a touchdown, right down on the first drive, and they drive right down the field and you ram it right down your throat and score a touchdown. It's even bigger for your quarterback to say, "Okay, boys, all right, let's bear down. We need to answer. Whether it's a field goal, it don't matter. Go down and get some points." So again,
I have a question, Game Time.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Do you think the complexion of that game against Green Bay would have been different if we had the ball first?
I don't.
Not at all.
Nope. Because their mindset was, listen, at halftime, a halftime in a playoff game is a long time. It's not the Super Bowl long, but it is a long time. And they came out. It was a different mindset. But when the ball starts rolling and gaining speed, sometimes it's hard to stop it. So,
yeah, and then plus, Green Bay, they had already done figured our defense out. They figured our defense out on that first series of the game.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, just remember, people.
I'm gonna tell you something. That defensive penalty on Bland, that would have got us off the field. That would have got us off the field.
Play.
Yeah, and it was third down. That would have got us off the field. There's no telling what would have happened after that.
But Dan Quinn's defense is predicated off the turnovers. If you ask me, that penalty right there was one of the major turning points of the game right there. Because after that penalty, Green Bay scored about
They scored about 4 plays
The
later.
one thing about Thomas, he's a student of the game. He knows all the ins and outs, even more than I do. So, but go ahead, Drew.
No, I was saying Dan Quinn's defense since he's been in Dallas is predicated off of turnovers.
Yes.
And that's something that's what Dallas did very well in his tenure there, right? And if they weren't getting turnovers, then it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a long day for the defense. And we saw that. So run the ball on them. They're not getting turnovers, giving Dak a good short field, then it's going to be a long day. And
there's your counterpart.
I agree.
Work out that.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and that was the issue. And they got punched in the mouth. Flat out. And it didn't help when your quarterback threw an interception
Brad, you cracked me up.
in the red zone. Brad, what's happening, brother? How you doing?
God, Brad. Oh, God. I got some characters on this channel. I love it. Donnie's drum covers. Hey, Game Time. It's been a while. Great content. Listen, Donnie, I miss you, bro. You're a mod. You're required to be here more often. I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm joking. I turn the negative stats around in the playoffs. They'll be haters.
What up?
I hear you. Oh, there he is. Wade, look at him. He's at the Maverick bar hitting it. Look at him. What are you doing, Wade?
I just got back from Waco, Texas.
Okay. Dude, man, we're getting closer. I just hope that when November 10th comes around and we hang out, that we're not 2-6, like 2-6. Because if we're 2-6, it's just gonna be negative content for literally, me and Phil. Me and Phil are getting there Wednesday, Wade.
I'm gonna be having a meltdown.
Yeah, it'll be ugly. We're just gonna light him up for like 4 days. I'm gonna sit in the Maverick bar and just be lighting up Mike Fisher. Everything. I'll be lighting up his wings.
If we're 2-6, Mark ain't gonna like me when he comes out.
Oh shit, it's funny. What's up? I see Troy Daniels is in there. But yes, listen, I was thinking, I had an idea, Wade, but like we would have to get together and discuss. Well, yeah, maybe not. I want to have a show. Just do like a show midweek when Drew's off at night, and just you against Drew. It'll be Eagles versus Cowboys. I'll be the moderator, and we'll just do something. Wouldn't that be fun?
It's not fair for Wade.
It's not fair for
It's
Wade.
not fair for Wade. Yeah, it's not fair.
I know, because we have a one shit and what? Go ahead, say it. How many years?
I didn't even say anything. I just said it's not fair.
How many years, Drew? I know you know it like you. Yeah, Drew wakes up in the morning. It's been 28 years. It's been 29 years.
Brad,
I'd watch that show.
Game Time be the special guest referee. You have to wear a referee shirt, Game, when you do that.
I'll be the guy that holds
the bell. They're trying to poke the bear, Brad. I'm trying to behave, brother.
I love it. We just listen again. I told you.
I'm not in the mood to fight today, so I'll let Drew have it.
Oh wow!
No, man, I come in peace, man. And this is my Monday, so I'm not in the mood to fight either, man. Let's just talk football, bro.
It'll be fun.
When me and Drew debate, I'm gonna try to go through Eagles history and pull up all sorts of ridiculous stats and routes.
Hey, listen,
ding, ding.
And listen, if we're gonna do history, let's go from the beginning.
Oh, we're going. Okay, so we're gonna go when Dallas wasn't around, right? Okay.
I mean, hell, I'll give Drew one thing. The Eagles did beat us in the NFC Championship in 1980. I'll give them that one.
Yes, I was there.
Let me
Wait, I was there, man.
Let me just say this. And
I was disappointed that day.
I brought this up to Brian before. Like, if you go back and listen to the first episode of Hard Knocks with the Giants, like 2 minutes in, they say that the Giants, this is the NFL,
100 years, right?
Eight-time world champions. 8-time world champions.
Yeah,
the NFL said that.
We don't acknowledge
They didn't
that.
say 4 times. They didn't say 4. They said 8-time world champions.
So are the Browns.
The Browns are 8-time.
So if we're going to look at the totality of a team and their accomplishments, then Wade, you have to be fair. Because the NFL credits their championships as championships. So my friend,
No,
make sure
it is
you do
true.
that.
It is true. The way the NFL does talk about franchises, they do include all their championships.
Thank you. So then, if
They
that's
do.
the case, the Eagles are 4-time world champions, putting us just one championship behind Dallas.
But here's the
Thank
deal,
you.
Drew, and I'm going to jump in here. I don't have a problem with that. If it doesn't bother me. That's cool. It really doesn't. I mean, but my team wasn't playing then, so they weren't in the game. I only want to keep stats from my team started, which was 1960.
Oh,
So
but
that
that's
was
not,
the Super
but that's
Bowl
not
era.
fair, Brian.
The
I'm
Browns
not- I'm
won
not
championships
saying-
5 years in a
So
row.
what about the Texans? The Texans, though, if they win a championship,
Yeah,
so,
they're not.
like,
they're
come
not
on
going to
now.
be nothing. They're going to
It's
be
not
have
our
a.
fault that Dallas wasn't. It's not our fault that Dallas wasn't around at that time.
There was,
So
but there
what
was
I'm
only
saying
what
is,
11 teams in the league.
it
When the
doesn't
Brown-
matter. Wade likes to bring up the totality of
But
a team.
listen,
He
stats.
talks about the history of the Eagles.
I
So
hear
you
you.
cannot say that the Eagles are a failure.
Nobody's taking
when we have
away.
just one less championship. Wade
All right,
does.
all right. So we'll go with this. How about this? I'll meet you
I
halfway.
want to discredit the Eagles championships. I mean, they got a long history. They do got a long history.
Yeah, but all right,
Thank
then I'll
you.
meet
Been
you
around for a
halfway.
long
We'll say
time.
the
They've been around for a long time.
we'll say the one-time Super Bowl, 3-time NFL championship Philadelphia Eagles. Well, how about that? Because
I mean, the Redskins.
that's
do
all
got a
you
lot
can
of
do. You can't say
championships.
Super Bowl because it wasn't a Super Bowl.
It isn't. But championships are championships. When they announce the Super Bowl winner, they say the Kansas City Chiefs NFL Super Bowl champions. They just don't say Super Bowl. Champion is a champion, right? So if we're going to look at the totality of the ball club, then we need to look at now.
Team game.
Listen,
You're right. Team game.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't even know who the
Was
quarterback
there, a
was.
period of time, was there a period of time where the Eagles sucked? Absolutely. And that's what made me be a fan, because I watched in 1977, when I was, cognizant enough to understand, watching my dad
You were crawling
suffer.
around.
Listen, watching my dad suffer as an Eagles fan, right? And I'm like, why is this dude? I was intrigued. This guy is bleeding with this team. So that's what got me to be an Eagles fan. I was born into this. Everybody in my family's Eagles fans. So if we're looking at the totality, my dad was at Franklin Field when they beat the Green Bay Packers with his father.
Yeah. No,
Right?
yeah. It's
So
definitely.
that's what I'm saying.
What's up, Chris Dooley? As a Washington fan, we won world championships, but we don't hang on to them. There were only 8 teams. Chris, listen, I'm not telling Drew what to think. He should listen. Just like the Yankees, right? When they were the dominant team in baseball back in the day, and they got all the best players, and whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell Drew and his family not to count them as champions. They were champions. They were.
The
But
only
they're
thing I'm
not
saying
Super
is
Bowl
Wade-
winners. That's a different.
Wade tries. What I'm saying, Wade tries to discredit them. Wade will discredit.
Well,
saying,
listen,
your
when you come
franchise
at them
hasn't done
hard like you
anything.
do, we got to go with the
Right.
numbers.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, what I will
you can't
say,
say
the only thing I said, I can't discredit those championships. What I will say, though, is you do bring up we got almost a 30-year gap since we won the Super Bowl in '95, but I can bring up y'all got like a 60-year gap between y'all's championship 2017, like 59
that's
years.
fair. I've never said that. That's
But we
fair.
don't.
I'm
Again,
saying if we're
Drew.
going to go back, let's go
But here's the
back.
deal, Drew.
That's fair.
We don't want to bring that up because it's bogus. Meaning, I could care less. You know what I mean? Like you guys harp on it's been 30 years.
It's bogus. And Drew, you may need to write a letter to the NFL people and tell them that, because everything is based on the Super Bowl era now.
Everything is not based on the Super Bowl era, because if that was
Everything
the
is
case,
based on the Super Bowl era.
Thomas, if that was the case,
Championship is
then when the Super Bowl,
championship is based on the
Thomas, that's not the
championship
case,
is
because
based on
when
the Super Bowl era.
Thomas, that's not the case. That's not the case. Go
I'm
back and listen to
sorry.
the first 2 minutes of
Everything
One at a
is
time.
based on the Super Bowl era. Everything
Right,
is
but
based on the
Thomas-
Super Bowl era. I
Right,
see where
Thomas,
you're coming
you may
from.
not-
Just let them talk.
But
I
Thomas,
see
Thomas.
where
you
you're
may not
coming
like
from.
Thomas,
If that's the
Let him talk, Thomas.
if that's the fact, then why don't they talk about the Detroit Lions being back-to-back Super Bowl winners back in I think it's
Well, they
59
don't
and
talk
60,
about it, but
something
it's
like
a
that.
fact.
When they won back-to-back championships.
They don't talk about
They
the
don't
Eagles
say
either,
shit
but it's a
about
fact.
them.
The Browns
Listen,
won
what I'm
5
saying,
championships
They don't
in
say
5 in a
nothing.
row.
Thank
You
you.
may need to write a
Thomas,
letter to the NFL
Thomas,
and
I
talk to
don't
them
need
about that.
One at a time, boys.
Thomas, if anyone needs to write a letter, it would be you, because it frustrates you that we're just one championship behind you
No,
guys.
I
So
could care
all I'm
less.
saying,
No.
hold on, Thomas.
You're
Let
3
me finish,
behind.
Thomas.
You're
Thomas, let me finish.
3.
Thomas,
Take
let
that
me
back.
finish.
You're 4 Super
Thomas,
Bowl victories behind us.
Thomas, let me finish, Thomas.
Take turns,
I don't need
please.
to write a letter. Yeah, I don't need to write a letter, because you may need to write the letter, because
I'll be right
we're
back.
just
Keep
one
at it.
championship behind you guys. Thomas, let
Uh-huh.
me finish, please. Let me finish. That may frustrate you, but when you look at the history,
You can't
that's
frustrate
why.
me. You can't
Thomas,
frustrate
when
me
you look at
because
the
we
when you look at the
got
NFL
5
season,
Lombardis at
I'm
the
not
house.
Thomas.
You have only 1.
Thomas, let me finish. Thomas, let me finish. The NFL said
No,
that the
man.
New York Giants were 8-time world champions. Thomas, I didn't say it. The NFL said it. So maybe you need to take it up with them. I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me. I know right now Super Bowls is the thing. I get it. But don't
But you
discredit
have only
our
1 Lombardi.
organization, because we're
You have
just
only
one
1 Lombardi.
championship behind you guys, and you guys haven't won one in the recent years. So you may need to write that letter, Thomas. I get your frustration.
We have had a drought. I'm frustrated, Drew. I'm frustrated. You don't think I
know you are.
get upset about
I'm
this?
frustrated. But at the end of the day,
I will say we've had some pretty good teams. I think where we could have been to the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not saying all of our teams should have been are good enough to go to the Super Bowl, but I think the 2007 Cowboys, 2014, 2016 Cowboys, those 3 teams were good enough to probably win a championship. I don't know what's your opinion.
Totally agree with you.
What do you think?
I totally agree with you.
Wow, hold up. This is a Kodak moment.
I'm not saying these past 3 teams were capable of winning the Super Bowl, but I think those 3 teams were good enough. I think we had enough.
What year was the Tony Romo catch no catch? What year was the catch no catch?
2014. I thought that team was ready.
Okay.
I thought that team was good
that
enough.
team was ready. So I'm sitting here saying this is why I get your frustration. Where since the year 2000, the Dallas Cowboys, who have had some stacked teams, have only won 4 playoff games. That's crazy to me, right? So you have
what's your opinion on the 07 Cowboys? I think the 07 Cowboys should have been the Super Bowl. I mean, that team was stacked.
Which team was that?
That was the year the Patriots went undefeated and got beat by the Giants. That was the year the Cowboys went 13-3.
Was that
advantage,
Cabo?
got beat by the Giants.
Was that Cabo?
Yeah.
Yes, that was
That
Cabo.
was a Cabo year.
Yeah. We had we had
both
Whitman.
of those teams that year
What's up,
and the
Katie? What's up, Tommy?
2014 team. Those were our chances right there.
Right. And here's the reality of everything. So I know I hear what you're saying, Drew, about you're right. The Eagles did have championships. But if you look at history, Philadelphia was the capital of the original capital of the United States, but no one says that. They always say DC. So for that aspect, I agree with what you're saying. But Super Bowl,
transition.
yes.
I want to welcome in some new people. Troy Daniels, what's going on, my guy? How are you, Troy?
Doing
What's
okay.
up, Troy?
Woke up late from a nap. Got back on my water pill. I was without it for about a week, and now my body is like,
Yeah, now you go to the bathroom.
Where's the intake versus the outtake? And I was kind of a little weak this morning.
Right.
So. But I'm glad.
It's good to see you, man.
I'm glad. It's good to be here. I heard Mark is in LA now.
I have to watch his video. I haven't watched his video.
Yeah, Mark is in my neck of the woods now.
Yeah. Mark is in Los Angeles. He just did
he's in
I showed the video of him being in LAX.
Yeah, made it to LA. Now would be a good time to sign CD.
Do you think he'll be after him to sign?
What's up, Mark Hutchinson? How are you?
Be there
Mark?
with that poster.
Well, that's still one more than I've seen and experienced. So I was at, and just circling back, I was at the 80 game. I was 9 years old. I was sitting in the 500 level, and I saw Wilbert Montgomery break my heart. But it was a great memory looking back at it. My parents took me to
That was a great game.
Yeah, I mean, my parents took me to a championship game. That was the day where Drew, back in the day, you could hang out at the vet. You could go underneath the vet, wait, and I think I said this
And see the
before.
player.
The bus would pull right up outside of the door, the going into the vet, and I just had a lot of great memories of the vet because I grew up like my school would always have school trips at least once a year where we'd go to the vet for a Phillies game, and we didn't watch the Phillies.
games,
We just ran around the vet
concerts.
as a grade schooler, just running around this big mammoth thing. Riverfront Stadium was the same way in Cincinnati.
Riverfront,
There was a bunch of cookie cutters that were the same.
John F. Kennedy Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I was there that day. It was one of those days, and then literally 2 weeks later, I remember I could picture being in school and talking to everybody. It was the Raiders and who was it? It was Branch, the receiver for the Raiders.
Raiders.
And
Cliff
Jim,
Branch.
yeah, you got
God
Cliff,
rest his soul.
yeah, you got Cliff Branch and Jim Plunkett, and it was just one of those deals. I remember somebody gave me a Jaworski jersey, and I was so young I didn't know any better, and I would wear it to school. And I'm like, "Well, why are you wearing a Jaworski jersey?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'm a Cowboy fan." But I mean, it was an authentic jersey, so I had to wear it, But I was, my
somebody give
dad
you
almost
something
beat
like
my
that.
ass. I'm like, "All right, Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't know any better." But it is what it is. It was a good memory, even though we lost. So I'll leave it at that. But it's just memories, people. Just memories. It's not a bad thing.
I remember going to
dude.
my aunt.
Yeah.
You get George.
Oh, go ahead.
I
I'm
remember going to my aunt and uncle's during the '80s when they would play the Rams in the playoffs, and boy, did they! Because I was always rooting for the Cowboys, and they'd be like, "Hi, your Cowboys ain't got." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta sit through this." And then it was the way
you
in
don't
the
know what
90s
you don't
too.
know, bro. Our defense has been dominant at camp, bro. So good luck.
Like Troy, my dad, he's 67. My dad grew up here in Dallas in the 70s. He saw all the Super Bowls and the 80s and then the 90s. But even he today, he's a defeated Cowboys fan. He ain't called the Cowboys the Cowboys. He calls them the loser boys now.
Oh, jeez.
He can't stand what they've become.
Just to let everybody know, all 4 of the items are going out tomorrow when I go to work. So I got 4 different items I'll be shipping out tomorrow, including the bobblehead. Lou Branch, you're getting a hat, So
Who got the bobblehead?
the bobblehead went to, let's see here. Bobblehead went to Bobby Babinski in Oregon. So Bobby, the Eagle fan, is getting the Jalen Hurts bobblehead. So, but I got a couple hats. I got Ginger wants a shirt. We're $21 towards our next goal. So we got about $54 to go to do another drawing. But yes, circling back, where's our poll at here? Our poll is Guyton 56, Marshawn Leland 44. I think they're both equally important to the Cowboys' success this year, especially with the loss of Sam Williams. But I'm glad that at least early on, sometimes scouts will say, "Oh, well, this guy's only a run stuffer. He can't offer pass rush." Well, so far in training camp, and especially in the blue-white game, Marshawn Nealon has offered a lot of pass rush, putting a lot of pressure on Dak. Now, we don't know. I'll be fair. We don't know whether it's the offensive line or it's actually Marshawn Nealon. That's what happens in training camp, right? You really don't know. Like, you'll see, success on one side of the ball, and you're like, well, okay, are they really good? Or is the other side maybe not as good? So we'll see. I'm not here I'm not here to say one way or another, but it's exciting to know our defense is doing that well. So William Tilton says Mozzie will be fine. Mozzie has shown some life, and if he could do what Zimmer's asking him to do, which is to take a double team, penetrate, don't give ground, that will go a long way to helping out the Cowboys. That's all we need from them. And that's why when you see guys like Davis from the Eagles, that's all he really needs to do is to take a double team, get a little penetration, and they'll be great with Jalen Carter right next to him. Jordan Davis, that's all he needs to do is a one technique. He doesn't need. People get carried away. Oh, Jordan Davis is not getting to the quarterback. That's not his job.
No,
That's not his
not
job.
his job.
No,
Yeah.
So
That's not. No, that's not the job of an interior defensive
right, and
lineman.
that's what I try and tell people about Mozzie. He's not
Monte
far off,
fast.
people. He's not far off. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm not comparing him to Jordan Davis, but I'm just saying for what he needs to do, it's not. We're not asking him to be a 3 tech, a dominant. We're not asking him to be a Jerome Brown. There's only one Jerome Brown, people. So
Right. But here's something too that we have to remember too, Brian. We got to remember this too. Like when it comes to linebacker play, no matter how good your linebackers are, it pales in comparison to the defensive line. It's the defensive line play that excels the linebackers. So that's why for Dallas it would be it's a real concern, like for Mozzie to really have a good season this year. Not only Mozzie, but your one techniques, your defensive line. If they don't play well, I don't care how good your linebackers are. When those offensive linemen get into the second level, they will eat Overshown. They will destroy these guys. So it's very key for your defensive line to hold up, to give your linebackers time to eat, to tackle, to rush the quarterback. Because if your defensive line isn't playing well, guess what? Your linebackers aren't going to be playing well. They're going to be at a disadvantage.
You know, true, and that's why I agree with what Dan Silio was saying. Him and Mark going back and forth, like, you know, the wide receiver, what's the most important positions? He's like, quarterback, most important thing, you need to make sure you got your quarterback. You need a defensive line and offensive line. That's where you want to be solid on both sides of the ball. Defensive line, offensive line.
4 points.
You don't got those, you ain't going to do nothing.
Yep.
You got to remember something. Your line is the first line of defense on either side. Those are your first lines of defense and offense.
Yep. So when I hear if I hear defensive linemen at the Eagles are playing well, that really excites me because we have probably top 3 offensive line in the league. So if I hear that Milton Williams is getting pressure, if I'm hearing Jalen Carter's getting pressure, if I hear that, what's the rookie we drafted last year? I can't think of his name right now. From Georgia.
What position?
He's a defensive end linebacker. No, the guy we drafted last year from Georgia.
Nolan Smith.
What is his name? Nolan Smith.
Yes.
I heard Nolan Smith at the open practice had 2 sacks, right? That excites me just a bit because it's like these guys are going against the best of the best. And if I hear that my defensive line is getting pressure, my linebackers are getting pressure, then I'm like, okay, cool. Yes. So, you know, that I think is really is what's key. That defensive line, if Mozzie doesn't step up, I don't know who else your one technique is, because you need that one technique is going to be so important in Zimmer's defense in the 4-3
Yeah, right
defense.
now, I'll be honest, Drew, right now, you got Carl Davis, the veteran, is a one tech, but actually our best one tech right now all around is the rookie. Is Justin Rogers is actually playing very well. But again, it's early. But Justin Rogers, the rookie out of Auburn, he's a big boy. And Denzel Daxon, who's played overseas, he played with Illinois. He's playing some one tech. We're going to have a rotation of guys. But right now, Justin Rogers, our 7th round draft pick, is a beast inside. He's not getting pushed off the ball. So we'll see. Again, Drew, I'm not flexing because we haven't played anybody. So it's hard to know. But, you know, that's all we can go by, right? Like when you see, you know,
Absolutely.
Like Covey having a great training camp and, you know, just transition to the Eagles. You know, they're looking for that 3rd wide receiver.
Britton Covey was a good receiver here at Utah.
Yeah, well, Britton Covey is having a hell of a camp, and he's going to make the team. And I was just warning everybody that I think John Ross is the odd man out. Maybe you'll get him back on the practice squad, but I think John Ross is the odd man out. Now, Paris Campbell's banged up. He's out. So, but I think
Johnny Wilson's having a good.
Yeah, well, I think Johnny Wilson's your 4 or 3. Yeah. No, I mean, I think Johnny Wilson's your 3 and Covey's your 4 right now. And I think
I agree.
And then we'll see. Again, it's not a bad thing. Again, we've had many veterans come in. John Ross is on his 4th team. There's a reason, people. Speed is great, but if you have no moves or your route running is suspect, But again, speed on the Eagles might be good, Drew. I would say he should be able to be successful
in the slot.
I don't know how many times. Well,
yep.
You talking about John Ross, wide receiver?
Yeah, well, just Drew, get used to this. It's going to happen.
They banged up.
I mean, I'm not going to troll you like you troll me. AJ Brown will play and be in the slot a lot because
I don't have a problem with that.
But just hear me out. You put him in motion. Devontae's an outside guy. You don't want him in a slot. But you put AJ Brown in motion, and if John Ross were to make the team, and even if he just ran a 9 route. How is the team going to defend that when, oh, by the way, you got Dallas Goedert running up the seam? So that's why, in theory, he needs to be on the team. But he needs to make the team. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But again, it's a good problem to have.
Because of the story, but I'm rooting for him because of his story. But like realistically, he probably won't make the team.
I think
like you said, hopefully practice squad.
I think Covey makes the team. He's that good.
I'm cheering for the guy. Oh, Covey for sure. Covey for sure. I'm talking about John Ross.
Now, and I was telling Philly 500 this morning that Aeneas, or I don't know how you say his first name, Smith.
Aeneas Smith.
Yeah. He might be one of those guys where you stash. He's struggling. Now he's banged up. You might not see him early. You cannot cut him because he will be picked up. So it's kind of one of those phantom, like our guy Ryan Flournoy, our wide receiver who's banged up. He will be. Oh my God, we're gonna have to put him on IR type of deal when it's probably not a year-long injury. So
they'll probably do that with Aeneas.
Yeah, so that's just smart business. Again, Joey. Hey, Joey, what team are you of? Like, because you're really flexing in the chat like you're somebody. So I asked you a question, Joey. You think I'm 1-6 coming this year? You're rude. What are you like a clueless troll? Listen, Joey, who are you a fan of? You didn't answer the question.
Who's Joey?
So listen,
who's
Joey,
team,
either answer the question or you're gone, big guy. How's that? How you like them apples?
Behind the shadows, Bill.
I don't like people who just
want
to come in here and be rude and then not tell me who you're a fan of. Just tell me so I know what I'm dealing with. We putting up 50 on you all. Green Bay put up 50. Who are you talking about, Joey? You don't know a football from a hockey puck. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry. There you go. Light him up, Brad. You got my position. He won't answer the question. Oh, so you're a Bird fan, Drew.
He's an
here
Eagle.
We go.
Yeah.
Come on now. You can't come in here flexing. You can't
Joey,
come in here flexing without giving me some substance.
Ease up, Joey. Ease up.
Just have some substance, my guy.
Yeah.
That's all.
Ease up, Joey.
Me and Drew will get into it, but at least he comes with a knowledge behind what he's saying. Not, you suck. We're putting up 50. Well, okay. Well, that don't make any sense. Trader Chris, Joey's a Chiefs fan.
That's low thing, my friend.
Yeah, right. He's a Yankee. Let me guess. He's a Yankee. He's a Chief. And who else? He's a
and Lakers.
He's a fair weather
Laker fan. There you go.
And Lakers.
Showtime.
Yeah.
Showtime. Pittsburgh Penguins.
He roots for any team that. Any team that's doing good.
Rob's in the house. Rob was tending to work, man. He's bailing out people. There you go. See, Joey, you said it one too many times. Brad lit you up. 33-13 mic drop. What are you talking about? Ultra Nick. Oh, right. 33-13. That's right. We busted them up 33-13. My bad. I'm coming down on Cowboy fans. Marcus, what's up, bro? So what's up, Rob? How are you, man? I get your audio straight, and welcome to the show. And what have you been doing at work, my guy?
Man,
putting out
control.
fires?
Putting out fires, man. Bad batch of updates going in computers that I shouldn't went through, so I had to revert the change.
I knew something was going on
in.
when I didn't hear from you. I'm like, my man's working.
Yes, sir. Yeah, another glorious day in IT world.
Ultra Nick says Hertz has more weapons than U.S. Navy SEALs.
That's true.
Sounds about
Very
right.
much.
Sounds
That's
about
facts.
right.
But I
Facts.
didn't read the rest. It's still only much of 13 points. So I was trying to be nice.
He's still on that 33-13 kick.
Yeah. It is what it is. Listen, just remember, everybody, we really try and be in good spirit here. Again, when it comes off too negative, like I have my Cowboy fans that are the same way. Like Kid Cowboy, I love him. He's always in here, but man, he hates Dak so bad. It's just negative, 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 negative. And listen, Kid Cowboy, if we end up
You don't
winning
think he'll reach the playoffs?
well, I don't know. It's just, again, I don't know, man.
What did you say?
I don't believe
He says
Four
he
will
doesn't
ever
think-
reach the playoffs again in his career.
Yeah.
That's just even Drew would say
Yeah,
Dak will get you there.
That's ridiculous.
That's
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he may not get you past the wild card round, but he'll get you there.
He'll get you there, for sure.
And I'm only being funny there again. You know, it's just how.
Wow.
What's up, Thomas? What happened?
Remember we were talking about the 100 meters earlier?
Yeah.
Everybody who ran the 100 meters ran under a 9.
Wow. That's
Look how close it
That's
was.
crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Well, listen, I think we can all be. I mean, I would think everybody, but maybe Hamid would be on this. At least we're all rooting for U.S., right?
USA.
Sorry, Hamid, I'm just trolling you, bro.
You know, like I told you, game time. That was just how close the 100 was. No allows one,
What's up,
but
David?
it could have went to any one of the guys that ran it.
Yeah, everybody ran under a 9. That's crazy.
Kid Cowboy. Maybe
Crazy,
Trey
man.
Lance. He's playing better, bro. Maybe Trey. I mean, listen, Trey Lance is going to be on the team, Kid Cowboy. You know, maybe he can pick it up. I'm just shocked. Hey, Drew, and I'll talk to you because I don't know. I'm surprised, man. I expected Trey Lance. He's this big guy, you know. He's actually bigger than Dak by like an inch almost.
He's a big guy.
Really?
But his
was a
arm to the sideline is not good. It's like I expected a stronger arm. Am I like weird in thinking? I just figured in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, this guy's gonna have a gun. He really don't have a gun. But I agree, Mark Hudson.
I
He'll
don't
be
know
on the
if Trey
team.
is. I don't know if Trey is that guy. I don't
think so. I mean, I'm going to tell you that. I'm hoping, but I'm just saying, I expected a stronger arm, like a plant throw to the sideline. I mean, Dak is not known to have the best arm, and his arm looks way stronger than Trey Lance when the out. If you can't throw the out in the NFL, you're not going to have a long career.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Right? Ultra Nick, stop listening to Broadus. Yes, he does have a gun. Ultra Nick, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I haven't listened to Broadus. And I'm not a Dak fanboy. So you Ultra Cowboy, now you're Ultra Nick podcast. Come on, bro. I'm not. I've lit Dak up most of the show. I said we don't know. I like Dak, but we don't know that he can win. I'm just saying, and Trey Lance doesn't look good.
I'll say this. I think Dak can win, but it's up to Dak to take that next. He has to take that off of his shoulder, and that's up to Dak. You know what I mean? Is Dak capable of winning a Super Bowl? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Last year was Dak, I'll say this, Dak was the second best quarterback, rightfully so, because he earned that last year, right? But that's up to Dak that he's put that negative kind of attention on him, the 2 and 5, and going into big games. Because I can't remember like a big significant game, even during the regular season that Dak went into to win a championship, or to win anything where Dak took over, or it's like, oh man, Dak won that big game. You know what I mean? I just don't remember any.
Yeah, I mean, he does have 22 fourth quarter comeback wins, but nothing substantial in the playoffs. So again, until he does it, he can't. So, until he does it, he can't. So It is what it is. Ultra, I'm not going to argue with him. He may have had it in college, Ultra, but everybody's saying that, yeah, what they're seeing, he doesn't have it in the pros. I will say this, Ultra, he's been better as of late, so that's good, you know?
I wonder if Dak might be having the same issue that Danny White did during the 80s.
But Danny White got to 5 championship games.
Yeah, that's true, but he can never get over. So I don't know. Maybe
Troy,
Dak
he played some great teams though, Troy. Danny White played some. I mean, those are some hell of teams.
Exactly. And remember, Drew and Troy, that was post Staubach, right?
Yeah.
Where you were hanging on. You had some guys who, like Randy White, was on the downside. Yeah, it wasn't what Staubach had, but Danny White was unbelievable. He was without the mobility. He was Randall Cunningham. But he had more playoff success than Randall did. But Danny White,
right?
I mean, he was a punter. He was a unbelievable.
Yeah,
athlete,
that's the only. They should have either used him as a punter or a quarterback. They shouldn't have put him in both positions.
We love each other, Elena. What's up?
But Dak literally, in 2016, his rookie year, he was literally given a championship-ready team right in his lap.
He was.
Boom, because that team was for Tony Romo, right? You guys were expecting Tony to take that team.
That's a good question,
and
Drew.
It was like, you know what I mean? It was like, here, Dak, boom. You got a rookie, fresh running back, best in the league at that time. You got an all-star offensive line. You had Des Bryant, you had Jason Witten, and the defense was good. It was like, boom, go get it. And he did extremely well. But it's like,
yeah,
he
didn't lose that game. He didn't lose that game in Green Bay. He played.
No, I agree.
He played great.
My question to
our defense lost that game.
Hey, Loyal, my question to you is, and anybody in the panel here, knowing what we know now, right? Dak won his first 10 games as a rookie, right? He came out of the gate hot. Remember, he wasn't a practice player, but he was lighting it up in the preseason games. If you had to, it's really not a question, right? If you had to go back and redo it, right? And Tony's healthy. He's back from his injury. Dak is on a roll. Would you sit Dak and play a Tony for the balance of the year? Who knows where we would have went?
Well,
you know what I mean?
It just depends. If Romo was healthy, obviously he was the starter at the time. I mean, that was like Drew said. I mean, that team was built for Romo. Dak came in and shined. But I mean, Romo just got hurt.
Man, I think that Dak, that was his opportunity. His opportunity was to go on a playoff run. And it didn't happen for whatever reason. It's out of sight, out of mind now. But, sometimes you need that early success. Now, and he didn't get it done. And that was for a rookie. Back then, we're like, okay, he's a rookie. So he's going to come back the next year. And he's been solid as a starting quarterback. His numbers are fantastic. But, we're sitting there holding our breath in the playoffs, and that's why it's so frustrating, Drew, because we do have a team who's won 3 straight 12-win seasons. Yet,
absolutely,
you see what we're doing, Drew. You see what's going on. You're an Eagle fan, but as from the outside looking in, how would you feel if your GM was negotiating? Where CD falls.
I'd be furious.
Where he falls, slightly below Justin Jefferson. Done. Done.
Yeah.
What are we arguing over? You guys can sit there and enjoy practice. We're sitting there, but what's the status of this guy? What's the status of that guy? And I'm tired of it.
Philly would be on fire right now. Philly would be on fire.
Yeah, they would. They would be burning I don't know, they burn it. They would be lighting them up on WIP. Let's put it that way. You think they don't like Dan Sileo? Because that's the thing. They don't like Dan Sileo. The Eagles front office has got rabbit ears.
They Dan Sileo's guts.
And Dan gives him a lot of props.
He's not an Eagles fan.
He's not an Eagle fan. I told Mark that. But He's
It's
not.
not.
And I even had a talk with Philly 500 off air, and he's definitely not. And Philly's smart, though. Philly's not locked into that BS. You know,
Yeah,
again.
I don't even listen to what Ancilio says. He says if he has us winning 5 games, how many games he said he had? No, he has this.
No,
he has
us winning
Dallas
7.
winning 5 games.
He has Philly winning 7 and Dallas winning 5, and he said Washington's going to win the division.
Now,
Yeah, that's
Washington
ridiculous.
may win a division by default, but there's no way Eagles are winning 7 and Dallas is winning 5. Unless there's a major injury, and that who's going to predict that? I'm not.
There's no damn way that Washington's winning the division this year.
I don't think so.
There's no way.
But here's my and I know Drew's at work, so I'll let him or getting to work. So I'll let him
good.
talk.
I'm not at work yet.
All
I'm good. You good?
All right. Unless Dallas lose, like I said, I'm going to couch it by this. If Dallas loses Micah, CD, or Dak, anybody else, I'm not going to make an excuse for. I know we're a little thin on our line, but as far as our tackles, I'm not making any excuses. If Eagles lose A.J. Brown, God forbid, Jalen Hurts, or I think Eagles could absorb Saquon, but maybe Devontae, I don't know, or Dallas Goedert. I don't know. Maybe an offensive lineman would be a bigger loss, maybe Lane Johnson. So let's go Lane Johnson, Hurts, A.J. Brown. If you, God forbid, you lost one of them, okay, now you're sucking in Washington closer up to you. We've already discussed that they have a tough schedule, Washington. But I think they're going to have an excitement, and they could get on a roll. But that's the only way they're winning the division is if the Eagles have massive injury or if Dallas has massive injury. That's the only way. Yeah, that's the only way, people.
I don't think it's even an or. I think it's more and. Like, it has to be that Dallas has major injuries and Philly has major injuries in order for Washington.
I got you. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it ain't or, because if we have a couple of major injuries, I could see Dallas repeating in the division, or vice versa. Like if you guys, but I just don't see Washington's there yet. Their it's still a rookie quarterback, regardless of how good he's going to play. It's a new system. It's a new coach. It's a whole lot of new over there, and I don't see either team, God forbid, that Dallas or Philly has that many major injuries where Washington comes out of the division. I just don't see it.
I agree.
Okay, ahead. I'm texting somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the biggest blow on Philly's offense is Lane Johnson. Anytime he goes out, we're just not right. I would cringe if he went down, regardless of how good our line is, regardless of how much depth we have.
Yeah, and we don't want to think about that, but I'm just saying, if we had to say how the Commanders could possibly win, because with a rookie quarterback, man, you can go back in unbelievable. Dan Marino had a hell of an offense around him. I wouldn't say Washington is at that level. I think Washington has some issues on defense. So if they somehow win a division, it would have to be a collapse by the Eagles and Cowboys. Again, I haven't really made up my mind. I want to see some, preseason games. Not that we're playing the starters, but I think it's an interesting year with the Eagles and Cowboys because we're both relying on young players. So if our young players are not ready, it could be an issue. So we'll see. I think Dallas more than the Eagles are relying on young players, but on defense, Eagles are relying on young players, right? Nolan Smith, you're relying on to take a step forward.
For sure.
Jacoby Dean, I don't know. I got good news on the Eagle front. I don't know if it's good news, but Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is now been elevated to the number one defense.
Yep.
So that's good.
He got number one reps.
But we don't know, like you said, we don't know. Right. So again, they all have to play. What's up, Derek J? How are you, man? What's going on, my man?
Vic is, he's old school. So Vic is he's rotating, letting everybody play with the ones. So he's not playing any favorites. So I like that, where he's mixing and matching to see what works for him in that defense. So is it Wade?
Yeah.
You either unhook your seatbelt or open your door, or both.
My bad.
Sounded like Mark Holmes' video this morning.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You saw that,
now.
dude? I was yelling at the TV.
Me too.
Close the door.
He's out.
My bad. I'm out here looking for vinyls.
Stacy Flowers, me too. Overshown, looking great. You gotta stay healthy though, Stacy. He's got to slow down a little bit. My guy's all over the place, and that's how he hurt himself last year. Good to see y'all guys. Derek J, welcome, my friend. If you want to join, you can, because Chris May put the link up at the top there. Here, I'll unpin the poll question. I can't. Let's see. I can't unpin it. Yeah, I can't. So let me see. Let me try it now. It's all right. But if you look for Chris May, there's a link in here somewhere for people that are non-channel members if you want to hop in. But
hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Did you hear CJGJ's press conference this morning?
I have not. I was busy working.
What did he say?
You got to go back and listen to it, bro. CJGJ is he's like accountability. He doesn't care what anybody says. You know, he is like fire right now. I'm loving it.
I missed him last year,
What's
man.
up, Robert?
I missed him last year. I'm glad he came back. I'm glad that was water under the bridge, and he came back, and he's going to bring that flag back to us that we were lacking last year for sure.
Go listen to the press conference later, bro.
Yeah, I'll
fire you up.
Yeah, I'll check it out too.
Yeah, you too, Brian. It was fire.
Bobby, what's up? Those running backs practice drills keep hitting the nut. Oh, dude. Our running backs are horrendous. Other than
speaking of Phil, that topic he was talking with Mark about the other day was just such bullshit when he was saying Eagles wide receiver depth isn't there after their first two, and then I started thinking, who in the hell out of any NFL team has three solid wide receivers?
Exactly.
I'm like, who? What are you talking about?
I agree with you. But
when Tyler Boyd left Cincy, because Cincy was the only team I thought of prior when they had Tyler Boyd and Chase and Higgins.
Chase.
I was like, okay, that was three. That's legit three good receivers.
Solid, yeah.
And I'm like, what team out there after their primary and the two starters has like a really solid third? So exactly. I was like, man, Sills, you're full of shit, man. Like that was such a.
You're fortunate to have two, Rob.
Right.
You're fortunate to have two.
Right.
If you have two, you're fortunate.
Absolutely. So I don't know what the hell goes through that dude's head sometimes.
Donnell Simmons,
Mark,
we needed.
His feature for the Eagles just blinds him sometimes. I get it. It's okay.
Donnell says we needed C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, bro. I love it. He's going to make us accountable. Well, I called it before anybody. I will say that. I knew I can't. In talking to somebody, I knew they wanted him back. Didn't know that it was going to get back, and they were able to get him. So he is a playmaker. He always finds himself around the ball. And you need players like that on your defense. Is he the best? No, but he's around the ball. And when that's all you want for your safety is to be around the ball, make a tackle, or pick the ball off. And he's great at it. So that's definitely.
He reminds me of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You're good. I like him and
Reed.
Reed.
He reminds me of the corner in Cowboys.
He's a weapon. Yeah,
Bland.
He's a weapon.
Yeah. Well,
like a Bland. He's like a Micah in the back.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said that, Rob. He's like a Bland. That's not a bad thing.
Bland. Yeah, he's a ball hawk.
I mean, listen, I got news for you. Not many
he
quarterbacks.
was
go ahead.
Yeah, he was a Tom Brady killer.
Yeah, you can't have.
Tom Brady hated him.
I got news for you. There's not many Darrelle Reeveses out there. There's not many Sauce Gardners out there.
Yeah, because I remember him when he played in New Orleans.
You're going to give up plays from time to time.
Yep. He hated to play against Gardner Johnson.
Marcus, he does gamble, but that's not a bad thing. He says he can't cover. They say the same thing about Bland, Marcus. That's why they're comparing them. That's why I like him. You want a guy. Now, Zimmer's getting his hands on Bland, so we'll see. Maybe he can tighten it up a little bit. But
you just said exactly what I just said too, game time, because I put that in the chat as well. I'm like,
Bland can't either, but they seem to be on the ball. Yeah. Now we'll see. We shall see. I mean, what Bland did, and he don't get a lot of credit. I'm not looking for credit. I could care less. I don't think he's with the Cowboys long term because he's going to get a mega deal somewhere. I think his interceptions go down this year, but I also think his coverage gets better. Remember, he came out as a 5th-round draft pick, right? He was a nobody when they drafted him. Dallas had a high rating on him, but he really wasn't on anybody's radar, and he was an instant hit. I mean, he's been balling out for 2 years. He's given up a few big plays, yes. But that's kind of Dan Quinn's defense. He wanted that athletic guy, willing to gamble, you get me the big play. So we'll see.
I remember when he played at Fresno State.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you Cowboys fans. Now, the defense is definitely going to change, right? I don't think you guys are going to have as many turnovers that you have in the last 3 years. So that means lesser, shorter fields, longer drives for Dak, in that offensive line. And we know that the offense feeds off of that defense with short fields with those turnovers. How is that going to translate this year? Because I don't think you're going to see that. I think you will probably see more fundamental play, more, better tackling. I don't know if the sacks are going to go up or not. I mean, it could possibly, but I think you'll probably see more fundamental play. How do you think that translate? And do you think that will affect the scoring? How will that affect the offense if you're not getting those turnovers, which was really affecting the offense, giving Dak a short field?
I don't know, but I know our defense is going to be more disciplined.
We're
going to be more disciplined than anything.
There'll be some more accountability on that defense than you had before, where Quinn was more, kind of reminded me a little bit of Coach Clapper, really. That lack of there was no accountability there on defense these last couple of years, and I think with him it'll bring a little bit more, as you put it, Drew, some fundamental football, more discipline.
Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. I appreciate your support, Linda.
Do a little thinking. If y'all notice, whenever Dan Quinn goes somewhere, his teams would kick ass on defense, and as time go on, he began to run out of gas because he did the same thing in Atlanta.
And
if you think about it, he did it in Seattle, and he left Seattle in time to go to Atlanta because he was getting ready to do the same thing after when they lost Super Bowl against New England. Think about that.
Bobby Babinski. Chia Pet has been more relevant than Dallas. The Chia Pet, obviously.
Thomas, don't crap on Dan too much. I mean,
I love Dan.
You guys
No. He played the game. He played the game. He was the pallbearer for Jerome Brown. I can't wait to burn his ear if he does indeed go to Dallas. I was supposed to be hanging with Mark and him. Nothing against him, but you just remember Dan Cilio was a longtime radio guy. Okay.
No, we're talking about Dan Quinn.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was out letting the dogs out and stuff. Anyway. Yeah. Dan Quinn. Okay, let's circle back then. Circling back. Dan Quinn. Good. Yeah. Dan Quinn is he always seems to get team going in the right direction, but after a few years, it kind of wanes off. It does wane because, like I said, he's less of a scheme guy and more of he needs a certain play. Well, all coaches need a certain player. Like Zim wants big boys, right, up front. But Dan Quinn wants to rush with athletes and attack the passer, and oh, by the way, stop the run on the way in doing that. Whereas Zimmer is, no. We're going to allot everything we can to stop the run and scheme up our pass rush if we don't have a Danielle Hunter on the outside or a primetime Anthony Barr or what have you. Now, he has himself I'm excited about it. I will tell you that one of the first defensive line. Yeah, one of the first things he said is that Like he even brought up the Eagles. He goes like when the Eagles game plans for Micah, it's up to the defensive coordinator to put that player and do a counter move. That was exciting to hear because it seemed like they left Micah out to dry. It wasn't really Micah's fault. If somebody's going to game plan you, you need your defensive coordinator to scheme up something to counteract. Okay, you want to do that to Micah, well, then we're going to do this. So it'll be interesting to see what it comes to. But regardless,
well, I think teams kind of pick on Micah too.
Well, they
because there's times and everyone here on there
he's not a perfect player.
Held. He's not a perfect player, but there's been times he's been held, and it's clear as day, and the referees can't see it.
I hear you, but when you turn around and constantly flail at the ref, they don't like that either.
Pull the laundry, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, Micah's got to stop doing that.
Yeah, he's still a young player. And anybody that's in Pennsylvania knows Micah was never this guy. I mean, he was a good player, but he hardly played at Penn State. He was just this athlete. Yeah. Dallas got lucky when they got him. So, oh, my God, he could actually give you pass rush from the edge. Kind of an undersized guy, especially this year now. So I'm curious to see. He's playing off the ball a lot. Did they have him rovering around? That's good. That's why Marshawn Nealon, that's why he did that question. Tyler Guyton and Drew says might struggle at times, but so far so good. But against what? I mean, I get it, but I don't know who's more important. I guess Tyler Guyton is more important, but Marshawn Nealon with the loss of Sam Williams is unbelievable that I'm just so thankful that they drafted this kid because he's already looking like a decent player. So Micah hasn't developed. What are you talking about, bro? I disagree. I know you're an Eagle fan, but Micah has developed. He just needs to hone his skills. Again, I don't know.
Discipline.
Discipline, yes. Bang. There it is.
Game time. I got a crazy feeling about Marshawn Nealon.
What's that
I got
feeling?
a feeling about it.
What is it?
It's a good feeling.
I know. But what?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a good elaborate.
I got a feeling. Well, what is it?
What's that? Exactly.
It's a shit show, or is it going to be good?
Good.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that I think he's gonna have a good year, and I think that he's gonna be considered I think he's gonna be in the Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation.
What's up, Chris Dooley?
What I've been saying, I think that's my what's the word I want to use? Dark horse. I think he's going to be
I will say you were on him early on. I was more like I loved the pick, but I wasn't counting on any kind of pass rush. I was and I'm still not. But I mean,
I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion.
Well, it is what it is. And again, this is the season of optimism, right? That tonight is going to be a good night. What's that, Roro? What's up, Roro? Hamid. Devontae Smith has his best catches against Commanders and Cowboys. Devontae Smith is having a hell of a camp, everybody. He just is. Devontae is balling out. He is. So, and I love Devontae as a Cowboy fan. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not saying I don't like AJ, but Devontae's a team guy through and through. So, yes, we are having thunder, Bobby.
He's more technical.
Devontae and AJ Brown. I remember these two dudes from college because y'all know I live here in SEC Alley. Yes. I used to watch these dudes.
Everybody. He's in Tennessee.
I used to watch these dudes every Saturday. I live in SEC country. And these guys, they kicked ass. They did. I ain't gonna lie, they kicked ass.
Yeah.
What's the name in Alabama? And what's the name in Alabama? And Brown when he was at Ole Miss, they kicked ass.
Brad says it's sad that the refs can control a game as much as they do. Yeah, if you don't play the game, these refs have These refs have a complex in the worst way. Just like I don't know if you guys remember anybody, any of you baseball fans remember Joe West. Yeah, God rest his soul. But Joe West was
Yeah,
He was a
I remember Cowboy
ridiculous.
Joe Ware.
He was a ridiculous umpire. He thought he was bigger than the game, and if listen,
Oh yeah.
it was just ridiculous. He would ring people up, and if you said anything, he would, God forbid you showed him up on the field. I know that's a respect thing, but he took it way too far. And these referees in football, I think, are better, but they're still some of these crews are ridiculously bad. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think about when you watch a game and there's 25 penalties? Listen, there's literally a penalty on every play. I hope everybody understands that.
Yeah.
Well,
they're holding on every play.
There's literally holding on every play.
Exactly.
Yes,
and that's
V,
one
we
of the
will,
frustrating things
Stradamus.
for me. In the Super
With
Bowl,
class.
the last Super Bowl we were in with the Kansas City, that call they made against Bradbury was like, did you really need to make that call?
Yeah. That was a
Especially
huge,
That
that was
was
a
the Super
huge
Bowl.
one too.
Even for people that
that was it for us.
Even for people that were not Eagles fans.
The letter of the
fans,
law,
just football fans.
The letter of
Like,
the law,
exactly.
it was a penalty, but again, do you call that?
That dictated the outcome of a Super Bowl.
It did. And
pretty much.
Again, that's my problem with where NFL is going. It's being over officiated way too much.
Yeah, it's way officiated. My thing is, it was a holding call, but my thing is, hey, it's Super Bowl. This is for the marbles. My thing is, kind of need to let that go because game is tight, and you don't want the game to be decided on a holding call.
Right.
And
it didn't even make a difference in the game. Like the ball was overthrown. He wouldn't have caught it either way. So with it coming down that way, that was one of, maybe I'm biased because I'm an Eagles fan, but that was one of the best Super Bowls I've watched for 58 minutes. For 58 minutes. And then those last 2 minutes was shit because of the refs.
Yep.
Absolutely. Kansas City was going to kick the field goal anyway because they was already in field goal range when the holding call was called.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that I believe that if Jalen Hurts would have had a minute and a half left, we'd have came down and won that football game.
Yeah, Dirty Sanchez.
He could have.
They weren't able to stop them.
Dirty Sanchez.
Let's see.
It says what pisses me off is the stupid penalty calls that aren't penalties and the non-penalty calls that are penalties because they screwed over Micah Parsons last year and followed up by Chris Dooley. Remember how bad the refs were doing during COVID? They had to use college refs. Here's my problem with the NFL, guys and gals. My problem with the NFL is, when a play happens, right? Whether you're an Eagle fan or a Cowboy fan, right? There's a long pass play. What's the first thing we do, other than my dog's barking, is we all look on the ground for flags, right? We all, oh my God. It's like, I hate the fact that, listen, blatant things you have to call. I get it. But I want to ask you guys, and let's be honest, at the end of a half or a game, how many times you see a Hail Mary into the end zone, and almost every time there's a blatant penalty by the defense just holding a receiver in the end zone, and they won't call it?
Because they want to get out of that game quick.
But like Troy, they'll call, like Drew said, they'll call Bradbury on a play that it was ticky-tack, and if that were me, I would have smashed my
I had to let it go.
75 inch TV. I would have. It was horrible. But there's a lot of times you see those Hail Marys in the end zone, and somebody's grabbing somebody, and everybody sees it.
It's a free for all.
And I don't mind not calling it, but then don't call it at the end of the game. You know what I mean?
There's just no consistency, right? In the calls, there is no consistency.
If you watch the game, just a lot of times I have a habit of watching just the offensive line and the defensive line go at it, right? And you can see holding all the time that's not called.
Every play.
So it's like, come on, like what are we doing here?
And see, this is what I liked. This is what I liked years ago when they experimented with it. Coaches could challenge pass interference plays.
I did like that rule.
I think they need to bring that thing back. I really do. But they're like, that slowed the game down.
Ref that bumped that cost him. He couldn't snap the ball. I agree, Bobby, but that was a horrendous series for us. But yes, go ahead, Troy. Finish your thought, bro. Thanks, Bobby.
Anyway, they need to
The
bring
brothers
that
screwed us.
back.
The brothers screwed us.
The brothers screwed.
Yeah.
Shut up.
They need to let the coaches challenge pass interference calls again, because this is ridiculous.
I want to ask you guys, who is so upset that there's a long 1 o'clock game? I'm not. I don't care less. If it's a good game, let it go. The only thing that makes it, just call the game the way it's supposed to be called. Okay, know, I don't. But it's all about, oh my God, the window 4:25. That's why they backed up the 4 o'clock games to 4:25, so everybody gets to see the kickoff. Listen, it's not a big deal, people. Call the game down the line. Stop worrying about this, the clock,
the length of the game. Yeah,
just call it. It's ridiculous. Yet we're going to call holding on every play. That's okay. Yeah. You won't call the game changing, but you're going to call. I have to get this off my chest. When there's let's say there's a jet sweep going to the right side, or like a hot screen going to the left, and there's a right tackle that's doing a little holding on the opposite side of the field. Why are we calling that? Okay, if we could use your eyes, all right, or like a block in the back, or there's a receiver releasing from the line of scrimmage, holding on a guy. You have to use judgment.
If it affects the play, call it.
I'm not saying that if that player can't get to a quarterback, obviously, then you're stopping him. But if it's
going the opposite way,
or if it's or if there's an interception, right, return going for a touchdown, and on the opposite side of the field there's a stupid ass penalty. It's like, what are we doing here? Just like, how many kickoffs?
Game time, I saw that in a college football game last year. I went to plumb off. I'm like, what the fuck is? The fans didn't see. The fans didn't see it. Didn't nobody?
Nobody saw it unless you slow mo it and have Troy Aikman go, oh yeah, there's a call. There's a call every play, people.
You know what else pisses me off?
It's fucking annoying.
The roughing the passers when the edge rusher just like kind of grazes his head, or lightly taps him. And it kills the play, and then here comes the flag. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't blatant. I can see if there's something blatant, right? But if it's just a tap on the head or the shoulder, like, come on, man, this is football. That's flag football. Like,
exactly.
I think Mark Hutchin is right.
What did Mark
say? I call that a love tap.
Yeah, go ahead, read it, Troy.
He said, I honestly think Vegas has a say in a lot of these games. I believe so too.
Yeah. I hate to think that, but I'll ask Rob. I know Rob's lost a lot of late game decisions.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that.
What's up,
I totally
Crowley?
agree with that. I mean, I had a good weekend this weekend. As far as betting on BetMGM as Game Time saw.
Rob the Greek.
Yes. But yeah, man, these Vegas, I think, has a lot to do with. I think they dictate a lot in the NBA, NFL. Even in the MLB, some of the strike zones and some of these umps are bigger than others.
Oh my gosh!
And
I was watching a game yesterday.
Me too.
That ball was well below the strike zone, and what did that guy do? Here's
the deal, though, with that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that as playing the game, because when you play the game, you start out the game, every umpire is different. If you'll know right away if they're calling the low strike, the high strike, whatever. As long as they're consistent for the whole game, the next time you get up to bat, there's like, all right, he's calling the low strike. I need to protect.
Yeah, he's calling. Yeah.
So
I got a question for Hamid in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead, light his ass up.
Cowboy fans, explain how the refs cheated the Lions. Well, Hamid, we're not the coach. If anybody, you should be mad at anybody, should be the coach. He's the one that failed to tell the referee that this is the guy they wanted to be the eligible receiver. You can't put that on us. We just did our part. We covered the guy that the referee said was the eligible receiver. So that coach, he could have called a timeout and said, no, this isn't the guy. I want this guy to be the eligible receiver. So the outcome could have still been the same. You can't say that we won that game because of that, because if we would have known the other guy was a receiver, I'm sure we would have covered him too.
Jerry put you in your place, huh, man? He told you to settle down a little bit.
Jack was there.
Thank God Angel Hernandez is gone. Yes, Bobby. Angel Hernandez was another one.
Hey, game time. I will say I wonder... in that specific game that the spread wasn't impacted by that, though. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't see anything suspicious with that because I did put some money on that game, too, as far as the Lions and Cowboys game. That didn't impact the spread at all. I mean, Dallas was still favored to win. And
Bobby, you're in, brother.
And so that game wasn't. But, man, talk about consistency. Yeah, there's a lot of games out there that it's just not called consistent.
So let me ask you this. Why would the NFL give it a spot foul on a pass interference? Why not adopt the college rule of just 15 yards? I think that's more than fair.
I agree.
You don't put it.
Well, what would happen was this then. This is what would happen, and I'm fine with it. If there's a game-winning and a guy pulls them down way downfield, right. I still like it, though, because you're still giving them a first down.
I can see where it goes.
My thing is, if the only time you spot foul it is if it's pass interference in the end zone. You know, if it's pass interference in the end zone, you move that sucker to the 2-yard line. Other than that, any other time,
if it's in the field of play,
like that,
15 yards.
How many games do you say were won by pass interference? A lot. A lot of games were won by those costly pass interference.
Drew.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
All right,
I'm gonna listen from.
All right,
Thanks
Drew.
for coming
in.
I appreciate you,
bro.
We'll talk to you later.
Yep.
We'll go honestly, for a little while longer, guys.
Troy, I disagree with that. I mean, that's just me, though. I mean, to me, I like it being a spot foul because to me, if you get burned and you purposely tackle a dude,
then
I like it. Or to me, it's like I think college should kind of adopt the way the pros do it instead of it being just a 15-yard.
Okay, then
it can dictate the outcome of a game.
If the ball is well over the player's head, then call holding, not pass interference.
Well, I don't disagree there, but see that's different though. I mean, that's even
one of those ones. Stupid. They're calling pass interference on way too many balls that are way overthrown.
Mm-hmm. And they were uncatchable. That's what pisses me off. When you get those plays that you know were uncatchable.
Kind of like the Bradbury.
And then the referee still throws a flag and gives another team a heartbeat. That's what pisses me off.
That's what's stupid. Yes. If you're going to call it
Cowboy on that.
There's nothing more annoying, Thomas, than watching a game and, even as a Dallas fan, say, oh, my God, please call it. And then you get it. And you kind of feel like it was ticky-tack. And it helps our team, and that's great and all. But if it goes against you, you hate it. So then that play should be gone. If it's that close, I like to let them play. I really do. Like the holding.
Me too.
I just think unless it's going to affect the quarterback.
Get real. If that ball is like 20 yards over, over and beyond, there's no way that guy was going to be there. You call a holding call.
It burns me up is like, say if that team is on fourth and whatever, and there's a play and they make the play and they make the stop. And how many times have you seen the refs call holding on a player that wasn't even involved in the play? It was something totally somewhere else on the field. I hate that.
Yeah.
And then it gives the team a first down.
The refs and the government is the same. Do what they want to do. Right, Coyote? Exactly.
If I'm a cornerback and I'm checking Troy Daniels, and if he fly right past me and I grab his jersey, that's a flag. Straight up, because he was getting ready to catch that 80-yard bomb. Yeah. But other than that other junk,
Well, if you're holding my jersey, then it's a holding, not a pass interference.
Right. Absolutely.
It's stupid.
That's holding.
It needs to be called a holding call, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down. Plain and simple.
Absolutely. And I agree like what Game Time said too. They just got to be consistent. Because even in that Super Bowl, there was a couple times where Devontae Smith got held up and it wasn't called. But then they threw the flag on Bradbury at the end of the game.
Yeah. I would be very upset.
The commentator said that. The commentator said, like, be consistent. You're not calling it both ways. You're going to be throw that laundry, throw it both ways.
That's where I think replay should be brought back in because they can't see everything, and I understand that. But they should be able to look down and go, yo, there's an egregious penalty on the other side of the field. And the reason why they won't is because they don't want to extend the game. But when it comes in the playoffs, it's really somebody's livelihood. And getting back to Hamid's Detroit Lions thing, again, it wasn't the Cowboys' fault, Hamid. They were
No.
This is what happens. The Detroit Lions are supposed to report, okay? Even if they reported, it's then the ref's job to go to the defense and let them know who was reported. That didn't happen. So Dallas covered up who they thought was reported. He wasn't open. Okay? That's what you need to get through your thick skull, Hamid. The guy that the Cowboys were told was eligible, they covered. So there was a miscommunication, not between the Lions. I don't know exactly what the Lions did or didn't do. But the Cowboys were told that this particular player was eligible, and they covered his ass up. That's why when it happened, like, oh, my God, he was wide open. Yeah, Dallas wasn't game planning for him because they weren't told that, see, Detroit tried to be cute, you know, and whisper it. And the ref didn't quite hear what was going on. So it's not
Bobby
Cowboys'
Murphy brings
fault.
up an interesting thing. Wait till the hip checks are going to be called.
Yeah, well, and Troy, that's probably going to be a regular season penalty, and then come playoffs are going to be lenient on it, in my opinion. But again, you know, who knows?
Yeah,
that's part of the play. And listen, we saw it up close and personal. We lost multiple guys because of it. Okay, Dak hurt himself on that type of play, but Tony Pollard definitely hurt himself. You know, that's why they took away the horse collar, because that's an injury waiting to happen. So
I agree. But yeah, the defender going down low. Yeah. No, that is not. You're just waiting for a Tony Pollard injury like that to happen. I agree.
I can't tackle, but when you're going for the ball, you're going to have to contact again. And this goes back to Rob and Drew, or even, you know, Thomas and Troy. If a team's going to score a touchdown, you're going to drag somebody down, whether it's by the hip or whatever. You're going to do whatever and take the penalty.
You're going to do anything to keep them from scoring. You know, I remember.
But then you need to call the holding call, not the pass interference. I'm sorry.
That would seem like a good solution, other than when you're in a time crunch and a 2-minute warning, like inside 2 minutes, where obviously you want to play downfield rather than you'll have a team just giving up 15.
But still, it's a holding call. It's not pass interference.
Yeah. I agree with you. I'd rather go with that.
If that ball is near that receiver, then pass interference.
Yep.
If it's nowhere near the receiver, it's holding. They've got to go back and redefine it.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I don't know. It's all right. Back in the day, it was all fair game, a chop blocks and all. Coyote, you don't want to do a chop block. That's nasty.
That's just like that. You know, when an offensive man goes high.
Well, this is another thing we could talk about. Troy is, you know, they're so worried about the head injuries that now you see these unbelievably nasty blocks low. If I'm a player, hit me high, and I'll deal with it. Do not go for my knees or low. That's where this is going. You see some nasty helmet on knee.
Yeah,
injuries.
Look at how many linemen are out because of that.
Tight ends. I mean, because
tight ends the same way.
When Gronk would catch the ball, someone would go for his knees. Like, I'd be like, damn, please don't shred this kid's knees.
Here's the deal:
if you're going to go for the knees, you need to use your arms and shoulders.
Just wrap them up and wait for help. There's not many Gronks, you know what I mean? You just got to do what you got to do. Just like Big Ben, remember Ben Roethlisberger? Even McNabb was a bigger boy. Dak's a bigger guy now, not as much as of late. It's tough to bring these guys down. Josh Allen, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You just wrap them up and wait for your help. If you don't have a gang tackling team, then shame on you. Somebody, you know, but I don't like the hits low. You know, that's when these injuries happen. Jacob L. Vikings tight end Hawkinson got hit, dirty, and injured. Welcome, Jacob. Yeah, and I guess purple for the Vikes. But yeah, then now he's with Detroit. But yes, definitely, he did get hit low. I hate to see
Hawkinson's
that.
with Minnesota.
Minnesota.
He was with Detroit, and then they traded him
okay.
to Vikings.
He started with Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so I
he
got it
was.
backwards.
He started with Detroit, and they traded
Okay.
him to Minnesota.
Hawkinson.
Yeah, he
Put
tore
metal
his
plates over the
ACL.
knees and knee them in the helmet. There we go, Coyote. Dirty Waters always tackled at the knees, then asked why I'm trying to knock the player out of the game. Philly D, Andre Waters was dirty, but, there was a certain intimidation to his game, but, you could get away with things back then. I was watching.
Oh, you know who was always bad at going low? Eric Williams.
Eric Williams was nasty. Yeah.
Oh, he was nasty at it.
He would punch you, literally. I mean, just ask Reggie White if you could, but Reggie would say he literally would get punched in the head by Eric. And I believe that's why they took. I believe that's where the illegal hands to the face came from, was from the old Dallas lines, because he was punching dudes in the head. So,
not to mention he was
bang,
going
bang,
down low on the knees.
Bang Bang Philadelphia said you can hit them low or you can hit them high. Man, why are you guys millions to play flag football these days? No, I don't like low, because then it's the knees, man. These guys are too big. I'd rather you hit them high and deal with the concussions. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what the players would want. NFL rules have killed the safety position. Guys, you're jumping off?
What they need to do is
bro,
come up with a new knee brace.
All right.
All right. Take care, Loyal.
Yep.
What they need to do is invent a knee brace that's better suited, that'll allow the knee to kind of be flexed either way and not just held by those rods. Because that's what's killing these linemen and D linemen, is that rod doesn't allow for, flexible either way.
Right. Bob,
the
they
way
used
it
to kill
bends.
their opponents. Yes, they did, Coyote.
I used to tell my nephews all the time about the padding and stuff. And I used to tell them, hey man, look, y'all know me, y'all know I'm from the 70s and 80s. And I tell them, I'd be like, hey, remember Eric Dickerson? He would tell you, I'm gonna wear every piece of padding that's out there.
Right.
I'm not getting killed. Y'all can forget it. And they led him to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Led him to the Hall of Fame and about 4 or 5 rushing titles.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
I know when I played one sophomore game and I got hit low and my knee was gone.
Really?
I couldn't play anymore.
Dirty Sanchez says he's going to Taco Bell. Do me a favor, go get the what is it? The 12 tacos to go. I think you can handle that. But I believe if you sign a contract for millions, you should be able to hit low or high. It should be a part of I don't like the low hit bang bang. If you could hit high, I'm not saying. I think it's a judgment call, but if you're going for somebody's knees, I think that's an issue, because you're literally taking money out. If you one bad knee injury, they've come a long way with knee surgeries, but if it happened 30 years ago, you were out.
Yeah,
you
were done.
So
yeah. See, that's what happened with me. The knee surgeries were not adequate enough, and
see you, Dirty.
I was done.
Yeah, Mark doesn't have an ACL. It's amazing that he was able to play football without one, but he went back and finished a year. So
yeah.
But anyway, people,
See,
I think I'm gonna call it. We've been going for over 2 hours. We're still going good, but we're gonna call it here. Your last thoughts. We'll start with Thomas. Go to Troy, then end with Rob. Go ahead, man. Yeah, go ahead, Thomas. Final thoughts, bro.
Game plan. I didn't mean to laugh as loud as I did while ago. You kind of timed it. When we was talking about, I forgot what we was talking about. Out of the blue, you just came with Jerry Jones.
Oh yeah. Well,
that caught me by surprise.
Jerry Jones.
But
thanks, JoJo.
We had a blue and white game yesterday, and I'm just glad that we didn't have any major injuries, and
yes,
I just hope that we can go on from this, and our first preseason game is it next week or the week after?
Week from today. Week from today.
Yes.
We're playing the Rams.
Okay. I just hope that we're ready for the Rams, and
I just want to stay healthy and and just see our young guys develop and get ready for the season. Yep. Troy, what are you thinking, my man?
I'm excited to see how some of
Rob.
these.
You're crazy, Robbie. Yeah. Good stuff, fam. Thank you, football guys and football. So 41. Yeah. So yes, we're getting close to the next giveaway. Not today. Thanks, Rob. But get ahead, Troy.
But yeah, I'm excited to see some of these rookies that we've got and second-year players. It's going to be an interesting season to see what they do and how things go and play out.
Me too, Bobby.
For this season, I am so
football's
glad.
Back, Troy.
Football is back.
Yes. Just real quick update before we go to Rob. What is your like? Where do we sit with fantasy? Is it still? I know Drew.
We've got now 3 slots left.
Okay, I could fill them, but I'm waiting for people in the chat. So if anybody wants to play,
have the link.
No, but I mean, like next, like Wednesday. Well, I know Troy has a hard time being here for the midweek.
I will
Wednesday
probably
night.
be on Wednesday night.
All right, Wednesday night. If anybody wants to do a fantasy, there's no charge, but we're going to have a fantasy football league. I'm going to have Mark make up a trophy that I'll give out to the winner. It's Joe Boo, but I'm going to be doing it on this channel because Mark hates fantasy. But
yeah,
so but he's going to make
we can always rename.
Yeah, we're going to do the.
Are you doing a 10 or 12-man league?
12 man right
hopefully
now.
12, but it will have at least 10. So again,
the draft is set for August 31st on a Saturday, so we will probably need to stream on a Saturday if you can, Brian.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or we could do it that Sunday.
Or we'll figure that out. But yeah, if anybody wants in, just join us Wednesday night, and we will. Unless Troy wants to put the link here, and when we're done, the link will still be here. So, but shout out to the 70 strong still.
Let me go grab it.
Yeah, we're still 70 strong here. But while you're grabbing it, Rob, go ahead, man. And I'm just looking at your Philly D's comment. Phillies need a win. It's bad, Rob. I don't know what the hell has gotten into my
the Dodgers need to start winning too.
Oh, the hell with the Dodgers. We're Phillies fans.
Hey, I'm a big
man. I was looking good on that Dodgers game, and
go Big Blue.
I took the under in that one, and they ended up scoring.
You're a Big D fan.
Like five runs in the 9th inning, man. Dodgers.
Yes.
Shit.
Oh yeah, the shutout
of White Sox. Yeah.
I'm not a White Sox fan, but I didn't know they had that losing streak like that.
Oh yeah, they're on their epic roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know they was losing like this. They lost again today.
Yeah. So looping it back to football, man. As far as training camp and everything goes, I need to see more out of my defense. I mean, I need to see more out of those linebackers.
Eagles,
I need to see more out of
defense. Yep.
I need to see more out of that defensive line. Huff needs to look better than what he has. My linebackers need to get it together. The only thing that kind of gives me hope with that, because I don't expect our defense to be all that great, is the fact that we do have Howie Roseman, and I think that if we need to go out and get a player, he's the man to do it. So that's how I'm ending it. I think our offense looks good. Hurst looks good. AJ, Devontae, they look good. But, man, that defensive mind is suspect at best. So we need to get it together.
Yeah, and that's why I think your offense is going to help. But, yeah, you need to see stuff. Thanks, Woke. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's for an Eagle fan. I think your hopes, your ultimate hopes, you're going to be good, but I think your ultimate hopes rely on that defense coming up to speed. Don't have to happen right away. I think this division is going to get out to a slow start. I'm not saying a bad start, but I don't think you're going to see a 10-1 team. That's just my opinion. You know, I'm sure I'll have an Eagle fan say, "No, we're going 10-1." All right. Well, I think it's going to be hard to do this year, but I'm just happy football is back. I need to stay healthy though. We can't have any more injuries as a Cowboy fan, and that's it, man. But I did pin anybody that's going to watch this after it's over. The fantasy football link is up top. It's free. There's 3 spots left. Get in there. We will have a trophy made, and we'll do a live. I will be streaming a live online draft, so it'll be fun. So hop in, get one of those spots, people. All right, everybody. That's it for us. I will talk to everybody later. I'm going to be setting up my Zoom call stream for Wednesday, and I'll probably have another video uploaded late tonight. So look out for that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Late.
All right.
Late.
You know what? I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving!